So I thought I'd give you something a little bit different and interesting. I know I've been away for a while, but YouTube's not my job, so I do this when I have time and when I feel like it. So Hillary published a great book. It's called What Happened. And by great book, I mean great entertainment to meme the living shit out of it. What happened? She happened. Let's do a new hashtag. She happened. At any rate, there's a great quote in this book, and I'd like to read it. This is from the Washington Examiner. It's one of the sources that I found this in that at least had the entire thing without their interjecting of opinion. Attempting to define reality is a core feature of authoritarianism. This is what happens in George Orwell's classic novel 1984, when a torturer holds up 4 fingers and delivers electric shocks until the prisoner sees 5 fingers as ordered. The goal is to make you question logic and reason, and to show mistrust towards exactly the people we need to rely on: our leaders, the press, experts who seek to guide public policy based on evidence, and ourselves. As everyone so eloquently pointed out, she lost the plot and doesn't know what the hell she's talking about. So, I got a book here. Yeah, George Orwell's 1984. I would like to read you an excerpt from page 83. So not very far in. You would expect that if she's going to be quoting a book and claiming that this is what the book says, perhaps she could have taken the time to read all... Oh, how big is this thing? I've never actually checked, to be honest. 326 pages of this book. A good portion of the beginning of it is like prologue information about George Orwell himself. So I would guess around 300 pages is actually the full story. How hard would that be to read? Apparently it's very difficult. So let's give you some context first. The main part of this story consists of the party, which is the party of the Oceania, which is London-ish. It's the UK. They are the only party for the entire government. The Ministry of Truth is what the main character works at. And the Ministry of Truth controls all media, all communications, all publications, all history, all knowledge, essentially. And let's read an excerpt from page 84, shall we? The party told you to reject the evidence of your eyes and ears. It was their final, most essential command. His heart sank as he thought of the enormous power arrayed against him, the ease of which the party of intellectuals would overthrow him in debate, the subtle arguments which he would not be able to understand, much less answer. And yet he was in the right. They were wrong, and he was right. The obvious, the silly, and the true had got to be defended. Truisms are true. Hold on to that. The solid world exists. The laws do not change. Stones are hard. Water is wet. Objects unsupported fall towards the earth's center. With the feeling that he was speaking to O'Brien, and also that he was setting forth an important axiom. Freedom is freedom. To say that 2 plus 2 makes 4. If that is granted, all else follows. Previously in this book, he was discussing that the party would frequently change the past. It would rewrite history in order to make it so that the party was correct at all times. Hillary tries to claim that we should just trust the party, the Democratic Party in particular, trust the government, and then uses George Orwell's book to back her up when it says the exact opposite. In a full authoritarian society, she is partially right that they attempt to define reality.
The epidemic of malicious fake news and false propaganda that flooded social media over the past year, it's now clear that so-called fake news can have real-world consequences. This isn't about politics or partisanship. Lives are at risk. Lives of ordinary people just trying to go about their days, to do their jobs, contribute to their communities. It's a danger that must be addressed, and addressed quickly. Bipartisan legislation is making its way through Congress to boost the government's response to foreign propaganda, and Silicon Valley is starting to grapple with the challenge and threat of fake news. It's imperative that leaders in both the private sector and the public sector step up to protect our democracy and innocent lives.
He's doing, what are you so surprised about? He's doing exactly what he said he's going to do.
Well, and I think that the dangerous, edges here are that he's trying to undermine the media, trying to make up his own facts. And it could be that while unemployment and the economy worsens, he could have undermined the messaging so much that he can actually control exactly what people think. And that is our job.
At any rate, I thought that was pretty entertaining, kind of hilarious. She's clearly never read the goddamn book. And many of us are rereading it because it's very relevant to today.
Don't be a liar.